Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Steel Twins recording studio in the cherry capital of the world, Traverse City, Michigan. Introducing your hosts, the Cannonball, the Cannon, the Steel Twins.
What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means.
That's right. Thanks for the follow, Eloise. Hello. Yes, he joined me. That individual joined my stream on Nostalgic Monday as I was playing Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, and has followed me as soon as I signed out of there. So yes, and we do have another page like and a couple more followers on our Facebook page as well. Thank you guys so much for your continued support.
Mm-hmm. And absolutely, Nostalgic Mondays is his idea. And I think it's a tremendous idea. Obviously, you boys are going to be doing the voice acting each and every Wednesday night. Although, we might move this to Saturday nights.
Yeah,
because I need to follow a decent sleep schedule.
Yeah, we're going to have to play this by ear going forward.
Mm-hmm. Because if it's, I'm going to give it my best. But you know what? We're going to give you our best. No matter what happens.
That's right.
So, now here's the thing. Did you have on your bingo card Apollo Justice versus Phoenix Wright?
Nope.
I sure didn't, and we're getting that battle. That's right. So
hello from Baltimore, Maddie.
Hi, Maddie.
Live from Baltimore, Maryland. Thanks for joining the chat.
Are you guys going to see a Ravens game at all, or are you just hanging out visiting family?
Or is it a business trip?
Well, whatever your fancy. Please be safe out there, and have fun.
And a lot of people have asked me, have you reached Twitch affiliate yet? Well, we've yet to try that, and I think we better get our heads together and figure out how to do that.
And really, I think Lions only. Yep.
Lions only, yes, of course.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, how about them Cowboys?
Dropping a 47 burger on those boys.
Ooh, it was brutal. So,
yep.
So we'll figure that out. But we definitely want to take this channel places, and the next place we want to take it is into this game. So we'll go ahead and lead us off here. Obviously, we got the heavy stuff tonight. If you have a cap to your bottle or a pin on your drink, you go ahead and pull that pin back or twist that cap off. A package. What time is it?
It's time to get bombed.
Cheers.
Cheers, Mike.
Whew. That hit the spot, Jack.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
All right. Live scene.
What to be granted for?
Yeah, I can't wait to get into this. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous in a good way. I'm so excited because, I don't know what the dynamic is going to be for this. Who's the bad guy? Who's the good guy? Is there even such a thing?
Or is it murder?
Ooh. Oh, come on. It's Ace Attorney. It's always murder.
All right, open them doors. We're to load the game. Here we go. Trial day 1 of Turnabout Revolution. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Good news. The check cleared. It's go time. Yeah, we're not wasting any time tonight. May 17th, 10:08 a.m. District Court. Defendant lobby, number 3. A little bit late today.
Just so you know, I'm not gonna take sides.
Message received, loud and clear.
Yeah, Trucy is not happy about this.
Nope, not at all.
Good, because I don't like this one bit. You and Daddy should be on the same team.
Sorry, Trucy. Wow, she's really mad.
I'm sorry too, little lady. This is all my fault.
I'm just worried things will never be the same between Daddy and Apollo. If they go through with this.
Is that all? Well, I wouldn't worry about that. That's the way it is with us men. We may fight, but we don't burn bridges.
I don't know about that shit. We'll see about that.
It depends. Okay.
Really?
Sure. 1 minute we're trading blows, and the next we're having drinks together. We're simple creatures at heart. Ha 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 ha.
I sure hope you're right. Sorry I'm late, Apollo.
Athena, there you are. What happened with you and Mr. Wright yesterday?
Oh, about that. I ended up going to the wrong airport.
Oh, come on, man.
You gotta be kidding me, Athena.
I was waiting there, thinking this flight was really late, and before I knew it, I dozed off. By the time I woke up, it was already dark.
I figured something like that had happened. The moment he realized he was completely screwed. Whoopee Cushion 42, whoever that may be, welcome to the chat.
Well, we don't know that yet, but... yeah, thanks for welcome to the chat, my brother.
Being late and dozing off are the two things you do best.
That's
No fair.
I hope you didn't break your arm with that backhand compliment, you douche.
Guilty as charged.
So then, I take it you have no idea what today's case is about?
Not a clue. Sorry.
Oh, sister, you better brace yourself.
You have no idea. No idea.
What is today's case about, if I might ask? Another locked-room mystery? A suspect with a flimsy alibi? Ooh, or a dying message?
Sorry, strike 3, you're out. It's a civil case.
A civil case?
You act like I'm speaking Swahili here.
It's just, the Wright Anything Agency specializes in criminal law, or so I thought. In civil cases, there are no prosecutors, right? Instead, both parties retain an attorney.
Right, and the other attorney is someone you know very well.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh boy.
Really? Who?
The trial will begin shortly. Please proceed to the courtroom at once.
Okay, let's do this.
Apollo, wait. Who's the other attorney? And where is Mr. Wright?
I think you just answered your own question there, sister.
Better buckle up, lady. No time to explain. Let's go.
Okay, right behind you.
Boy.
All right, here we go. May 17th, 10:30 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 6. So real quick, there's a relic called the Founder's Orb or the Crystal of Ami Fey, and there are two parties that believe they have the right to possess this relic, and that's what this civil case is all about.
All right, open those doors. Day 1. Court is now in session. All rise. Court is now in session. Oh, is this some sort of practice session? A mock trial, perhaps?
Not quite.
No. No, it's not, Your Honor.
It's the real deal, Your Honor.
So then you two have had a falling out?
No.
No. I won't have you using my courtroom for that, you know. It's nothing like that, Your Honor.
Exactly. It just so happens that we have different clients in this case.
I see. Well, here's to hoping this has no adverse effect on your working relationship.
It
Won't?
You won't.
You can say that again. I had no idea we'd be going up against the boss today. Ugh. You sure this is a good idea, Apollo?
What? You want to switch sides?
Honestly, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now.
Well, at least she is here. Really gonna need her help.
Mr. Justice,
Yes?
don't expect me to pull any punches just because you're the opposing lawyer. As I said, the kid gloves are off, and come what may, they'll stay off.
Well, this music. Same here, Mr. Wright. If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get.
Whoa! Oh, intrigue.
Things are getting serious already.
Yeesh, you guys are really chomping at the bit, aren't you?
I don't mind a good fight between co-workers. Just keep the civil case civil. Now then, if the plaintiff would take the stand, we may begin.
Yep, because the plaintiff is the one that's okay.
Right, left, halt!
Oh, Jesus.
All right, here we go.
Noble Judge, members of the gallery, good day to you. I am politician. This is but the start of my epic campaign, and you all have the honor of witnessing it. I believe the youth of this country are our very future. Too long have they been looked down on and given the cold shoulder. So to them I say, ask not what you can do for your country, ask what you can do for me.
Mr. Attrition, what is that crazy contraption you're riding in?
It's my custom-made election-winning campaign mobile. Beautiful, isn't it?
You're at a witness stand, not a campaign podium. So come out of there this instant.
Feh.
Good. Thank you.
Way to hand it to him, Judge. All right, now, will the plaintiff's attorney, Mr. Wright, please explain the complaint filed against the defendant?
Mr. Attrition's complaint against the defendant is simple. The defendant, one Dhurke Sadmati, stole my client's family heirloom, the Crystal of Ami Fey. Mr. Attrition merely seeks its return.
This wouldn't have happened if that archaeologist hadn't kicked the bucket.
That's gonna...
I see. Well, Mr. Justice, let's have your opening statement, if you would. The defense asserts the item in question is the Founder's Orb, a sacred relic from Khura'in. Go on. It seems someone asked an archaeologist, Dr. Archie Buff, to study the orb. Dr. Buff determined that it was a Khura'inese national treasure known as the Founder's Orb. The very orb that was stolen from a treasure room in Khura'in several weeks ago.
Actually, maybe it wasn't even stolen.
Why, yes, I saw a news report about that. The theft of a Khura'inese national treasure caused quite an uproar in the kingdom. Well, we believe that it was not, in fact, a theft in the traditional sense, but rather that it was spirited out of Khura'in by someone for Dr. Buff to study. You don't say. And? Around that time, an acquaintance of the defendant learned of Dr. Buff. He made contact with the doctor, who agreed to hand over the orb. Apparently, the doctor wanted nothing to do with it once he learned it had been stolen. It seems you even have a transfer agreement between both parties. Mr. Sadmati also agreed to return the Founder's Orb to the Kingdom of Khura'in once the doctor verified it was the real thing.
1 second, please. I'm gonna try something.
Okay.
There's a pretty big good humming noise in the background. I don't know what that's going to do. So let me turn this down all the way. Nope, I guess not. This is 2.7. Negative 2.7. All right, because if it's really quiet, you can actually hear the PC in the background. Try moving this microphone out of range. Careful. And silent. All right, we're gonna have to just keep figuring this out. All right, moving on.
I see. So this dispute centers on whether the item in question is the Founder's Orb or the Crystal of Ami Fey. That, in turn, will determine the object's rightful owner. I better bring my A game. Going up against Mr. Wright won't be a walk in the park. Come to think of it, the name Dhurke Sadmati sounds awfully familiar.
Oh boy. Strap in, kids. I'm gonna turn this down to 0.0. Boop. Okay.
Okay. Can you hear us clearly?
I'm sure you guys can. Let's go.
But I can't recall where I've heard it. Oh, it's probably your imagination, Your Honor. He's just a tourist after all.
Sure.
More than
Let's
that.
go with that.
Yeah, of course. My imagination, you say?
Are you sure about this, Apollo? He's a wanted criminal in Khura'in, isn't he?
In Khura'in, yes. Here, he's just a tourist.
Right.
Very well. Let's begin the proceedings. Bailiff, would you bring in the first witness? That first witness being...
Oh. It's either...
It's Detective Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Emma?
Show some manners. We're in court.
I know, it's just... This is a civil trial, so I was surprised to see a detective take the stand.
I had her do some digging on Dr. Buff.
What for?
You disappoint me, Apollo. First, you know I'm not just a detective. I'm a forensic scientist. Do try to remember that. Second, you owe Mr. Wright an apology. After all he's done for you, you have some nerve.
First, I'm sorry, and second, I'm really just trying to do my job.
You'll never get anywhere with that attitude. Take some advice from someone who's been there.
Why do I feel like I'm on trial here? Detective Sky, your testimony, if you please.
All right, here we go.
Time for a little witness testimony. The doctor's dark secret.
The police have had their eyes on Dr. Buff for some time, and just today, a number of stolen artifacts were discovered in his study. Among them were a priceless urn and a statue that were stolen from the Fey clan. It seems the doctor would do anything to study artifacts, including steal them. As for the relic at the center of this dispute, he likely stole it from the attrition residence.
Oh my gosh, they're pilfered?
The doctor is a thief?
Oh,
What?
man.
What? No way. Why am I just hearing about this now?
Oh my god.
Well, cat burglar isn't something he put on his resume. He was more careful than that. But the fact is, he was a classic treasure hunter. A treasure hunter, huh? Like people who have thrilling adventures in exotic places, risking life and limb for glory?
I doubt Dr. Buff's the star of his own hit movie series, Athena.
Out of respect for the dead, I will say that Dr. Buff wasn't doing it to get rich. Apparently, he only wanted to borrow artifacts to study them. He would then return them as soon as his research was finished.
According to the doctor's child, he would even repair or restore some of the artifacts he stole before returning them. He believed he was honoring the dead by discovering their history through artifacts. But whatever lofty ideals he held, it makes no difference. Larceny is larceny.
Yes. He certainly sounds no different from a regular thief to me.
Oh boy.
So, let's say for a moment that the doctor really did moonlight at stealing artifacts. Might he not have stolen the Founder's Orb in Khura'in and brought it back here himself?
Well... Nope. There's no record of him traveling overseas over the past few years. Plus, he couldn't very well leave his reclusive child at home all alone.
This really must be the Crystal of Ami Fey.
What if it's both?
Well, we don't know yet.
Yes, he stole it from the attrition residence, probably so he could study it.
This is a left hook I did not need.
I bet you never saw that coming, Apollo.
Yeah, Mr. Wright said the kid gloves were off. He wasn't kidding. Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
All right, let's grill her like a hamburger.
All right, then. Time for a little cross-examination. Well, this scene right there.
Oh, man.
The doctor's dark secret.
The police have had their eyes on Dr. Buff for some time.
Hold it! Hold it! How exactly did Dr. Buff arouse the suspicion of the police, anyway?
Chalk it up to good old-fashioned sleuthing. After investigating countless artifact thefts over the past few years, the police finally zeroed in on him and the doctor became their prime suspect.
A number of those artifact thefts occurred in Khura'in Village, too, if I might add. And they started right around the time the doctor moved there.
But he was never arrested. I take it there was nothing concrete linking him to a crime?
No, which is why we were never able to get a search warrant in the first place. It's hard to arrest artifact thieves unless you catch them red-handed. Still, the police had him under constant surveillance. And just today, a number of stolen artifacts were discovered in his study.
Hold it! Hold it! Are you sure these allegedly stolen artifacts are the real deal?
They're not fakes, that's for sure. Take the urn, for example. Apparently, it's an extremely intricate work of art. Its design, cracks, and other features would be impossible to replicate perfectly.
Actually, I've had a few run-ins with that urn myself. Yup, shout out to a couple of cases. So I was shocked to see it there in the doctor's study. I can say without a doubt that urn was stolen from the Fey clan.
I see. Detective Scott, please continue with your testimony if you would.
You know, getting some tidbits here.
Among them were a priceless urn and a statue that were stolen from the Fey clan.
Hold it! Hold it!
He just said that.
Were any other stolen artifacts found besides those belonging to the Fays?
Yes. For instance, remember the large relief on the wall? It was chiseled out of some ancient ruins in the kingdom of Khura'in several years ago.
Chiseled out? Didn't that damage it?
Well, he did restore the parts that were so faded you could barely see them anymore. It seems he intended to return it someday, so one could say his intentions were good. But good intentions are no get-out-of-jail-free card. That's a fact.
If I might add, with respect for the deceased, the quality of the restoration was apparently exceptional. It seems the doctor invested a lot of money in hiring an extremely talented specialist.
Sounds like a good man who took a wrong turn somewhere.
I guess Sarge takes after him in that way.
Any further questions? If not, it seems the doctor would do anything to study artifacts, including steal them.
Hold it! Hold it!
Maybe he was coerced.
Have these alleged thefts been going on for some time?
At least 5 years, as far as we can tell. All the recent thefts had been local, but before moving to Khura'in Village, he had been stealing them from ruins around the world.
Dr. Buff was an international criminal?
This data lends itself to but one conclusion. Dr. Buff was a thief. As for the relic at the center of this dispute, he likely stole it from the attrition residence.
Hold it! Hold it! You claim he stole a family heirloom from the attrition residence? But claiming something doesn't make it true.
Unfortunately, it is true.
How can you be so sure?
A police report was filed concerning the theft, 1 year ago, in fact.
What? A whole year ago? Uh-oh. The year of the UR1 incident.
Oh boy.
Whoosh. Wait, no, that was...
August 25th of last year, to be exact. The report states, and I quote, "The Crystal of Ami Fey was discovered to be missing from the attrition storehouse at 10 a.m. The storehouse lock had been picked." Signed, Paul Attrition Wimperson.
I was wrong about the UR1 incident. That was like 8 years ago after
Okay.
this. Well, a year-old report certainly lends the plaintiff's claim credence. The doctor really could have stolen the Crystal of Ami Fey.
Not only that, Your Honor, but the Founder's Orb was only found to be missing several weeks ago. That is nearly a year after the crystal's theft was reported. Therefore, I believe we must consider the orb and the crystal to be two separate items.
Politician Wimperson? Not the most awe-inspiring tail end, is it? I see why he cut it.
Not that he inspires confidence without it. Still, I'd probably do the same in his shoes. Robbery report added to the court record.
A report filed a year ago by one Mr. Paul Attrition Wimperson for the theft of the Crystal of Ami Fey. Let's take a look at it in a minute.
A police report was filed about the crystal's theft a year ago.
Let's read it. The Crystal of Ami Fey was discovered missing. Never mind. She already quoted it.
But the theft of the Founder's Orb was only reported a few weeks ago, so the crystal's police report was filed away before the orb was found missing. That suggests the stolen relic is the Crystal of Ami Fey, as Mr. Attrition Wimperson asserts.
I doubt the police report is a fake. After all, Emma is the one who submitted it as evidence.
Still, I feel like something we learned in that police report is important somehow.
Read that again. Okay, the crystal was an invitation from storehouse at 10 a.m. The storehouse lock had been picked. 10 a.m. What was the date on that report? August 25th.
Yeah.
10 a.m. Okay, I don't know.
Okay, I think we're gonna see what story mode says. Statement number 1. Statement number 2.
I think it's the statement number 5 in that police report we just got.
Yeah, that may be. Statement number 3. Gotta hydrate.
Got a long, hard trial in front of us.
This is a spot, by the way, man.
All right, here we go. Hit it.
As for the relic at the center of this dispute, he likely stole it from the attrition residence.
Objection!
Oh, right.
The doctor stole the relic from the plaintiff?
What does this say?
It's the email. Data obtained from the doctor's computer includes a report of his research into the Founder's Orb.
I deciphered the patterns, but have yet to crack the riddle. The opaque crystal orb is the key. And that was dated...
No.
When?
No.
Never mind.
Are you sure? Because that statement doesn't agree with a certain piece of evidence.
What do you mean?
Take a look at this.
What about it?
This contains an email from the doctor's computer. Email? And that little piece of plastic? I'm afraid I don't understand. Oh, this stick here can store all sorts of computer data. I still don't get it.
The technologically challenged judge.
Here, just look at this. Give her the times, Judge. Apparently, the doctor was reporting his research findings to a certain individual.
Who is Paw 711? I have to know.
No idea. Now take a look at this. It's the police report Detective Sky presented to this court. You can see the plaintiff's legal name on it. Yeah, it's Politician Wimperson.
Right.
Politician Wimperson.
Wait a second. Time out. Oh!
Wait a...
That's who that is!
What?
That's him!
No way!
Oh my god.
Yikes!
Okay, so what's...
Color me stupid!
Dang. Okay.
Dun dun dun! I could see why you dropped Whipperson from his name, but that's hardly breaking news.
Not without the right not in the right context.
Look closer, Your Honor.
His initials!
Right. The plaintiff's full legal name is Politician Whipperson. Now consider this. The email's recipient address starts with 3 letters.
P-A-W? Ah! Don't tell me.
Oh, but I will anyway. The individual who hired the doctor to study the disputed item is none other than Politician Whipperson.
Wait, then that means...
Exactly. He wouldn't have asked the man who stole his family heirloom to study it.
Yeah, exactly.
Therefore, how could this possibly be the Crystal of Ami Fey?
Ah!
I don't believe this.
We never checked the doctor's emails. We couldn't even figure out the password to his computer.
The plaintiff willingly left the orb in the doctor's care so he could study it at the behest of his benefactor.
Wait, then what about the police report? I have all the details of the theft right here.
It's probably for another relic. The real Crystal of Ami Fey. He's just using the report as a way to claim that our orb is actually his stolen crystal.
Objection! Objection! And how are you so certain that PAW refers to my client's initials? Maybe the email's recipient was a dog lover. True.
Perhaps. So let's get to know your client. a little better, shall we? Mr. Politician Whipperson. I suppose shutting down detractors is all part of a politician's job. Answer me this, Mr. Attrition Whipperson. What is
Your birth, either your favorite food or your birthday.
What is your birthday? What is your birthday?
Because 7-Eleven. If
July
it's July 11th.
My birthday is July 11th. Well, what's it to you? Uh-oh. Gotcha. Gotcha, bitch. Oh, I see. You can address birthday gifts to my office. But full disclosure, I only accept gifts valued at $1,000 or more. Huh? Why is everyone gone silent? How can anyone be that self-centered? Oh, right, politician. Did everyone hear that? He said July 11th. July 11th, or rather 7-Eleven, matches the numbers in the email address. Both the name and birthday are a match. I hardly think that's a coincidence. Wait. Why, you sneaky little... Looks like someone finally decided to join the conversation. Would the plaintiff care to explain? I would like to say that is quite what? Quite a thing you've said. Any other thoughts? No further comments. I stand by my previous statement. Hold it! Hold it! You can't just walk away. Even politicians have to explain themselves in a court of law. I'm afraid I simply don't know how it happened.
How? You typed it out, you doofus.
I can't possibly explain matters outside of my purview.
Oh, he's clamming up.
Perhaps it was a mistake on the part of my secretary? Oh, no, you don't, you slippery eel. Mr. Wright, would you care to respond?
I won't argue your assertion. my client lent the treasure in question to the doctor and asked him to study it. It seems that much is a fact.
Now we're getting somewhere.
However, it has no bearing on the issue of ownership.
How so?
Mr. Attrition, I fully understand your position here. You had to hide the fact that you sent the crystal out to be studied. Your family would have been very upset if they had found out. It is a family heirloom, after all.
You gotta be kidding me!
Mr. Wright is, well, right, of course, but then he always is. That's why he's my lawyer. The crystal is a precious attrition family heirloom and has been for centuries. But Dr. Buff was so eager to study its proud heritage, I just couldn't say no. I didn't even tell my grandfather.
Objection! Objection! But in order to win the backing of your so-called benefactor...
Who we have to find out who that is.
Yes, of course. You were going to give what you claim to be the Crystal of Ami Fey to that person? You were going to give a precious family heirloom away just like that?
I was going to explain everything to grandfather later, honest.
My client's grandfather is very proud of his grandson for following in his footsteps. And if refusing him would have meant dashing the dreams of his darling grandson, I doubt the kindly old man could have said no.
Well, grandchildren are meant to be spoiled.
Yeah, you could say that again.
That's what grandfathers are for. Your Honor, please. I mean, it's been in the family for centuries.
My grandfather thinks highly of my talents as a politician. That's why he entrusted me with this very important name placard today.
Uh-oh.
So I'm sure he would have been okay with me using a crystal as I saw fit.
A petition?
Is that his grandpa?
Probably.
Who knows?
Yeah. What a damn dumbass.
Grandpa, spoiled little brat.
I think the judge is buying it, Apollo.
No surprise there. He's always going on about his own grandchild, after all.
Excuse me, can I leave now, Mr. Wright? I believe my work here is done.
By all means, Detective Sky, thank you for your assistance.
You're welcome. It's nice to testify at a civil trial once in a while. See you around.
Well, now she's... It seems the facts have changed somewhat. Mr. Attrition Whipperson apparently lent his family heirloom to Dr. Buff. Mr. Justice, how would the defense like to proceed? All right, now what?
Apollo, let's hear what they know about this so-called Crystal of Ami Fey. Maybe we can find some inconsistencies in their statements.
Right. Okay then, Mr. Wright. If the item in question really is an Attrition family heirloom, then let's hear all your client knows about it.
Of course. Mr. Attrition Whipperson, please tell the defense everything you know about the crystal's origin.
All right, now then, listen and learn. This is the tale of the Crystal of Ami Fey, the illustrious history of the Attrition clan. Are you ready? Our story begins back in the old country when the attrition family reigned supreme.
Well, we're gonna do a little witness testimony here.
Oh, I was about to do the snoring gimmick, but never mind.
The illustrious history of the Attrition clan.
My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler. He protected the spirit mediums, a minority back then, from the rest of the locals. Some discriminated against them, see, while others tried to abuse their power. As thanks, Ami Fey gave the crystal she had specially made as a gift to him. I am a descendant of that great ruler. As such, my political power and influence is backed by centuries of history.
Well, that developed to a great load of self-aggrandizing propaganda fast.
As you can see, the Crystal of Ami Fey is an heirloom of the esteemed House of Attrition.
And you have proof that it has always been in the Attrition family?
I have someone who gave a statement to that effect. My client's neighbor, one Yves Shaneto.
Yves Shaneto.
Yves Shaneto, age 85, gave the following statement. The Atticians showed me the crystal back when I was but a lad.
Objection! Objection! Can we really trust the memory of an old man?
Sure we can. Mr. Justice, would you care to explain that statement to the judge?
I didn't mean... What I'm trying to say is, never underestimate the memory of your elders. I may forget my verdicts the next day, but the memories of my past are clear as day. Therefore, I find Mr. Yves Shaneto's statement to be perfectly credible.
Wow. Did you see how Mr. Wright got the judge on his side? That's definitely a trick I want up my sleeve.
You're not helping, Athena. You may cross-examine the witness, Mr. Justice.
All right. I think we might have to grill this guy like a hamburger, too.
Unless you want to know what story mode says. What do you want? It's up to you. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler. Hold it! Hold it! That object you sent down there, is it something of importance to you? It's your name placard. This one here belonged to my grandfather, Abraham Attrition. He had it custom made during his distinguished political career. I think this is gonna be key. It's special because it was crafted from the finest Italian plastic. I wasn't aware that Italians were famous for their fine plastic. You can touch it if you want. No, I'm fine. Very well, I'll just continue with my testimony. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler, but he was also an eminent politician.
Okay.
He protected the spirit mediums, a minority back then, from the rest of the locals. Hold it! So I take it the relationship with the Fey clan was a close one? A smooth and open line of communication with my entire electorate. That is the politician way. Huh? Oh, sorry. I was asking about your ancestor. Whether it's about me or my ancestor, feel free to ask me anything you like. Transparency in government. That's the politician way. More like dodging questions. That's the politician way. Thanks. I'll be sure to ask when I have something you'll actually answer. As I was saying, the Attrition family protected the Fey spirit mediums back then. Some discriminated against them, you see, while others tried to abuse their power. Hold it!
Yeah, let's get some more info on that.
Spirit mediums were targets of discrimination?
That's odd.
Yes, some people even treated them like they were monsters. The transformation the mediums underwent when channeling spirits frightened the locals. And then there were those who tried to use them. You mean they sought to control the channeling powers of the mediums? Discriminating against a minority is absolutely despicable. A vote for me is a vote to end discrimination. I vow to root it out wherever it may be. That is my promise to you.
He's totally ignoring your questions. It's like you're a moderator in a political debate.
Yeah, and only he cares about his talking points. As thrilling as your campaign is, can we please get back to your testimony? As you wish. Now then, as for the Crystal of Ami Fey... As thanks, Ami Fey gave the crystal she had specially made as a gift to him.
Why is there blood around the handle?
Present something maybe? Or
can we? Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's see. All right, I'm just gonna.
Uh-oh.
Looks like we're gonna get there.
Objection! Objection! You stated that Ami Fey had the crystal made for your ancestor.
Well, what does the research notes say? When Matama motif from Khura'in founding period, and there's blood stains on the
treasure box.
From the treasure box because it got whacked on the guy on the side of the guy's head.
Let's back
When the butterfly descending upon us. Okay.
So, am I to assume it was made in Japan? That's right. Their craftsmanship is unbeatable. Well, that's strange. I don't see how your so-called crystal could have been made there. What are you talking about? It's quite obvious if you take a closer look at this. The bloodstain down there.
Either the bloodstain or this emblem right here.
Take that!
That's the emblem, dude. Look at that.
Take a look at the distinctive design here. According to Dr. Buff, it's a Matama motif dating back to the early days of the Kingdom of Khura'in. The Kingdom of Khura'in, And you base this on... Here, this piece of evidence, Your Honor. These are the doctor's research notes on the Founder's Orb.
Matama motif from Khura'in founding period.
This is the box in which the orb was originally stored. It features the same pattern as the one found on the orb. They do look like the same pattern. Therefore, I assert that the disputed item must have been made in the Kingdom of Khura'in. My Picard!
Objection! The Khura'in channeling technique originated in the Kingdom of Khura'in. And Ami Fey is known to have traveled there to train. With that in mind, what's to say she didn't bring that pattern back with her?
Objection! But since this is clearly a Khura'inese design, not even you can deny the possibility that it was made there in the Kingdom of Khura'in.
Objection! Anything's possible to some extent. That doesn't make it true. So you can't conclude that the orb is from Khura'in based solely on that pattern. If it were that simple, I could just as easily say it's Japanese.
How is this possible? I don't even know what you're talking about. Order! I have to agree with Mr. Wright. The pattern alone proves nothing. But that also means there's no basis to claim the item in dispute was made in Japan, either. At this rate, we're going nowhere fast. He's right. We're just spinning our wheels here.
I wonder if we have any evidence that could break this stalemate.
Evidence that could break this stalemate does not exist. There doesn't seem to be anything we can use, at least not at this point.
Well, unless we can find something, this trial won't be going anywhere.
Phew. That's much better. What's his deal?
I have a suggestion. Why don't we consider this from a different angle?
I'm listening.
What if the Defiant Dragons really were authorized to take possession of the relic?
I'm afraid I don't know where you're going with this, Mr. Wright.
Consider the orb transfer agreement, which states, I agree to hand over the Founder's Orb to the Defiant Dragons if I will come to no harm. What if, as the last part suggests, this was written under duress? That would render the agreement null and void.
What are you suggesting, Mr. Wright?
While you were on your little cave expedition, I was investigating Dr. Buff's accident. And there was something you overlooked, Mr. Justice. Namely, that his accident might have actually been murder.
What? Murder? Order! Mr. Wright, you do realize such statements are not to be made lightly? Are you suggesting the doctor was murdered by the Defiant Dragons?
Yes, but follow me on this for a sec. The books that came tumbling down were from the archaeology shelf. However, among that mountain of books was a single volume on psychology. What's more, there was some blood on it.
And you feel this is important because...
The books that came tumbling down were from the top shelf, the archaeology books. We know this because the doctor's books were meticulously organized by subject. Archaeology took up the entire shelf, so that psychology book is completely out of place.
Come to think of it, the shelves are arranged quite carefully.
It's also worth noting that psychology books only take up a tiny part of the bottom shelf. You might wonder why a book on psychology was found amid the pile of archaeology books. But I believe I can explain what that single out-of-place book was doing there. The doctor was struck from behind while selecting a psychology book from the shelf.
And that's when the blood got on the book?
Precisely. And to make it look like an accident, he was buried under a mountain of archaeology books.
Objection! Wait a second! This is all just speculation, right? Or do you have proof that it was murder?
Of course I do.
You do?
On a hunch, I had Detective Skye examine the doctor's head wound. She found that he'd been struck by the corner of some object or another.
Wait, what?
Some object. Keep that in mind.
Oh boy.
A wound like that couldn't have resulted from a fall on the floor, you know.
To the floor.
Do you understand what this means, Mr. Justice? The wound makes it crystal clear that Dr. Buff was murdered.
What?
Well, that was unexpected. Who'd have thought we'd break out of the stalemate like this? He pulled the ladder right out from under us.
Still, if you think that's enough to make me back down, he's got another thing coming. Even if the cause of death was murder, what makes you think it was the Defiant Dragons?
That's the thing. We got to find out who did it.
Yes. You should know better than to hurl baseless accusations.
Objection! Did you forget who you were up against, Mr. Justice?
Huh?
You didn't actually think I'd come to court without witnesses and evidence, did you?
Well, what are you talking about?
I would like to request further testimony from the plaintiff. Specifically, I would like the court to hear how he saw one of the rebels leaving the crime scene.
He saw what?
Oh no. What?
If he can prove it was murder, that's the end of our client's right to the orb. Did he have this up his sleeve the whole time?
How could Mr. Wright do this to us? He was just waiting to spring this trap. This trial has taken another unexpected turn. But I must mention, Mr. Wright, that you have yet to identify the murder weapon.
The object used to commit the murder was not located at the scene of the crime. The murderer likely disposed of it elsewhere. Dr. Buff's autopsy report added to the court record.
Dr. Buff was struck with the corner of some object. The time of death was between 10 and 11 p.m.
Okay, and all right, so, here's my question though. Now, obviously, when we pulled out the Founder's Orb, it was under lock and key, and it was stuck under that cave, right?
Right.
So how the?
Well, I never thought we'd be deliberating the issue of murder at a civil trial. All right, Mr. Attrition Whipperson, your testimony, if you please. Prepare to be dazzled. Dazzled by charismatic oration forged in the crucible of campaign battles.
Oh boy.
All right, here we go. Time for a little more witness testimony.
Yeah, this trial's taking a bit of a turn quick.
The rebels Khura'in. That evening, I was walking along, lost in thought. I passed by the doctor's house, and that's when I saw Mr. Areba. He was running out the front door. It was around 10 that night. Surely that must have been him fleeing the scene of his crime. A vote for me is a vote to end such violence. That is my promise to you.
All right, so it's got to be that fourth statement we got to press him on.
So the plaintiff saw a possible suspect fleeing from the doctor's residence, and it was within the window of the estimated time of death? That's a rebel. What in the world were you doing there then?
Study photo updated in the court record.
Attrition saw Dats fleeing the scene on the night of the murder. One of the books is stained with coffee.
It seems Mr. Rebel was loitering about Khura'in village that day. There's evidence he was in the doctor's study as well. Isn't that right, Mr. Justice? Yep, his suitcase.
You mean the suitcase?
Exactly. He must have been in quite the rush to leave that behind. Oh, and by the way, Your Honor, Mr. Rebel just so happens to be sitting in the gallery today. See? That's him trying to escape as we speak.
Bailiff, don't let that man get away. Right, you backstabber! Why are you doing this to me?
Okay.
All right, the counsel/defense may question the plaintiff/witness once more. Please proceed, Mr. Justice.
He's still a witness.
Cross-examination time. The rebels Khura'in. That evening, I was walking along, lost in thought. I passed by the doctor's house, and that's when I saw Mr. Areba. He was running out of the front door. It was around 10 at night. Surely that must have been him fleeing the scene of his crime. Hold it!
Hold on.
But at the time, you didn't know the doctor was dead. Is that correct? It's true that I've been known as a prodigy from a very young age. Huh? I graduated high school and college with exceptional grades. As class president, I reformed stale old school traditions. My exploits were even covered in local papers. But as exceptional as I am, I can't possibly be expected to know everything at all times. This isn't working. He keeps bending the questions to serve his own needs.
Hang in there, Apollo.
Mr. Attrition Whipperson, I believe the court is well aware of your exceptional nature. Now, would you please continue with your testimony?
I have the upcoming election in the bag. Well, what's Storymo telling us? A vote for me is a vote to end such violence. That is my promise to you.
All right, so let's just take a look.
So we're going back.
So around 10. So I'm thinking that might that out the front door, but see, seriously, I don't think he was running out the front door. He was running out the back. Passed by the doctor's house, and that's when I said, well, we're gonna probably
Hold it! Hold it!
Yep, here we go.
Where exactly were you when you saw Mr. Areba? Right here, under this tree.
Okay.
I saw him dashing out of Dr. Buff's front door.
Now he could have also seen him running out the back door because because that window is gigantic, right?
What? And he didn't notice you? No, I was hidden by the tree. Is it really all that important to know from where the plaintiff saw Mr. Areba?
Yes, it is. I think so.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, I believe it matters a lot. I ask that it please be added to the witness's testimony. I was under this tree when I saw Mr. Areba.
I don't think so. And what evidence do we have that we can prove it? Because look, here's a guy. Okay, there's that, and of course there's a big ass window. Like if it happened at 10 p.m., somebody would have seen him. Sort of just drone.
No. What is the story about?
Doctor's reading glasses. All right. Oh.
Oh, he was running out the front door. Hold it! Hold it! Correct.
We're getting more information about that.
Did you notice anything unusual?
Yes, his behavior was incredibly suspicious. His eyes were darting all around as if he ran off in total panic. As soon as I saw that, I knew he had done something and it probably wasn't good.
Despite that, you still didn't report it to the police?
Yeah, that's odd.
Who would have thought he had killed Dr. Buff? Not me. That's why I didn't report him.
Oh, and maybe he didn't. Maybe he was already dead.
So the witness didn't notify the police. Is that an important statement, Mr. Justice?
Hell yeah, it is.
You bet it is. Yes, it's important. I request that the witness add it to his testimony.
Sure, why not? I had no idea that Dr. Buff was dead. That's why I didn't call the police.
Hang on. Didn't he know something?
Was it the police report?
Maybe. The robbery report. Where's the police report? Oh, you mean, yeah, this guy here.
Crystal of Ami Fey was discovered to be missing from the attrition storehouse at 10 a.m. The storehouse last been picked.
Well, that's different. Doctor's poor eyesight.
And what story mode tell us?
Yeah, I know. What does story mode tell us? Okay.
Objection!
Oh, it was daytime.
Mr. Attrition Whipperson, rather than Mr. Arabal, wasn't there something else that should have had your undivided attention?
Like what? Oh, yes, of course. A politician must also keep his finger on the electorate's pulse.
Sorry, but you're way off.
And focus on the nation's whatever. No. I am?
What about this photo? Hang on. So,
You said it was daytime, wasn't it?
right, but the time of death was 10 to 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So if he was standing by the tree at 11, that window's gigantic. He should have noticed a dead body.
I know, he didn't see it.
So if he didn't see a dead body,
Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice? If the witness saw Mr. Arabal from his position here, then he should have also been able to see the doctor's body. Huh?
Yep.
After all, it was right next to a huge window. Why, I believe you have a point there. With the body that clearly visible to the witness, it's unthinkable that he wouldn't have reported it to the police. Would the witness care to respond?
Did he fall asleep?
Mr. Attrition Whipperson? Mr. Attrition Whipperson!
Huh? Oh, there are many sides to any issue.
What did I ever do to deserve this? In any case, I'd like the court to acknowledge the inconsistency in the witness's testimony. Mr. Attrition Whipperson, did you really see Mr. Arabal?
Yes.
What's he walking away?
Hold it! Where do you think you're going?
Oh, I thought he'd return to my seat, seeing as I had already answered the question.
This isn't some small town hall debate, so you just stay right there until I say we're through.
I'll have to run that by my campaign manager before I...
Objection!
Mr. Attrition Whipperson, I think it's time for you to come clean.
Huh?
So then, does this mean he didn't see Mr. Arabal?
As your lawyer, Mr. Attrition Whipperson, I advise you divulge that matter we discussed. Silence is no longer an option.
Are you sure about this? I'm in the midst of running for office. I can't afford to let any strange rumors get out.
Don't worry. You won't suffer any blowback for what you're about to reveal. He's narcoleptic. Oh my God.
Roll back. I'm not sure I like the sound of that, Mr. Wright.
Not to worry, Your Honor. Nothing untoward will come of this. I promise. Now then, Mr. Justice. Remember how it was an anonymous caller that reported the doctor's death?
Uh-oh. Come to think of it. Emma, who was the first one to discover the body?
About that, whoever it was, it seemed they wanted to remain anonymous.
What?
It happens now and then. Some people would rather not get involved with the police.
Could it be?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wait, you're not saying that...
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. The anonymous source who contacted the police after discovering the body was my client, Mr. Paul Attrition Whipperson.
What? You don't say!
So you see, he played his part as a concerned citizen. Quite admirably, if I may say so. Isn't that right?
Yes, indeed. In our society today, there are too many who choose indifference over righteous action. But I don't number among them. That's why I did my duty as a concerned citizen. One might call me the model citizen, one worthy of standing above the rest.
What a real standard bearer he is, reporting it anonymously.
Oh, and by the way, Mr. Justice, wasn't there someone else at the scene of the crime when my client discovered the body?
You mean Mr. Arrebal? He would have been leaving the doctor's house right around then. Wait, that means...
Yes, it does. In short, what my client witnessed was Mr. Arrebal fleeing the scene of a heinous murder. Ah! And that's not all. Based on what we've heard so far, Mr. Arrebal looked exceedingly suspicious, and that's putting it mildly. We already know the Defiant Dragons threatened the doctor with bodily harm. And now that they've killed him, the so-called orb transfer agreement is null and void. This is insane.
Apollo! If we don't come up with some sort of counter-argument...
And what sort of evidence do you have? Can you actually prove that it was Mr. Arrebal who killed the doctor?
That move had desperate written all over it.
It's all I've got, so I'm going with it.
Evidence? I suppose it's true that I don't have any.
I knew it.
But I do have another witness.
You do?
You should know I always come fully prepared, Mr. Justice. And my new witness will provide testimony proving Mr. Arrebal's guilt.
A new witness? I wonder who they could be.
Very well. Bailiff, please summon our new witness. In the meantime, the court will take a brief recess. I would like both sides to use this time to prepare properly. Understood?
Oh boy.
Yikes, bro.
Yikes.
In an hour and 9 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes, folks. May 17th, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. So,
Man,
what's going
what
to
are
happen now?
Yeah, I have no idea what's gonna... Who's the other witness?
Wow, I knew Mr. Wright would put up a tough fight, but...
Yeah. Just when I thought we had him, he turned the tables on us. He really is a turnabout terror.
We can't let him blindside us again. Looks like they got me again. 3 times in 1 year. That's a new record. Oh,
Go shut up, Dats.
Dats, please. No more new records. Or bad puns while you're at it. It's hard enough trying to help you as it is. Rush that. I'll be more careful next time.
Dats, is what Mr. Wright said true? Did you really pay a visit to Dr. Buff that night?
Sure did. Can't remember the exact time, though. All I know is he wouldn't have handed over the orb. Someone put it in his head that we rebels were dangerous. That's why he threw me out. So the doctor was still alive, but Dad last saw him.
still have to prove it, though.
Better brace yourself, son. The next witness's testimony could make or break this case.
Yeah, I know. Hey, where's Trucy? Don't tell me.
She went to go see her dad.
Maybe she's still mad.
More like worried. Worried that this trial will create a rift between you two. And that you might then leave the agency.
She has an active imagination.
Excuse me, the trial will be resuming shortly.
Well, let's go see what new testimony awaits us.
Oh boy. Why do I get the feeling that Trucy's gonna be our surprise witness?
I don't think so. May 17th, District Court, courtroom number 6.
Or she's probably going to assist him. She's gonna take sides.
I don't know.
Oh boy.
No idea. All right, court is back in session. Mr. Wright, you said you had a witness.
Your Honor, I would like to call the lone survivor of the doctor's murder to the stand.
Wait, he can't mean that Sarge is here.
Uh-oh.
Yikes. You mean Dr. Buff's reclusive son? How did you get him to cooperate?
Nothing a little persuasion couldn't handle. The poor child only agreed to help if it meant catching the killer.
Getting a kid like that to overcome his fear. Now that's impressive.
This must be really important testimony for the kid to come out in public like this.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please call your witness to the stand.
How much you want to bet it's still that stupid drone?
I think so too.
Well, let's find out.
Huh? It's not there. It's not.
Yeah, it sure is. God damn it.
It's the drone. Oh, Mom!
Sergeant Buff at your service, sir.
He's here as the drone? Really? Mr. Wright, what exactly is the meaning of this?
You're going up against Phoenix Wright, dude. Of course he's gonna have some goofy witness. Past trauma has rendered it impossible for the witness to venture into public. Leaving home was hard enough, and it seems leaving the witness lobby was just too much. But I would still like to continue with testimony delivered via this drone.
I understand it must be terrible to lose one's father like that.
So he's out of his room, but he's in the witness lobby.
But testimony via a remote-controlled toy? Well, let's take things for a spin and see how it goes.
I mean, he cross-examined a parrot. He cross-examined an orca. Why not a drone?
Of course.
Just who's piloting this trial anyway?
The judge sure warmed up to the idea fast.
I think the phrase you're looking for is gave up.
You disappoint me, Corporal Justice. To think I once called you comrade. Since you once called you comrade. Yeah. Defending the man who killed Papa, that's full-on treason, soldier. I hereby demote you back to private.
Corporal? Private? What's he talking about, Apollo?
It's a long story. Now then, are you ready to testify, youngster?
Locked and loaded, sir. Ready to rate let down upon the perpetrator.
Yeah, I would imagine it was like that 12-year-old boy or something. That's the kind of voice I gave. Witness testimony. What happened that evening?
Papa met with someone the night he died. I didn't have eyes on the ground, as I'd already minded my siege defense. But I did hear him arguing with someone in his study. From my window, I saw the one designated task getting ejected from the premises. After that, the man lingered around the perimeter for some time. He must have regrouped and killed my papa in the study later. I just know it.
I don't think that's the case.
Is it time for a little therapy or something? So he was thrown out, but later returned and committed the murder, did he?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi, Blake King. Thanks for joining the chat, my man.
Hey, good to see ya.
You're awesome.
Wait, hold on. Yes, Your Honor. So the man my client saw really must have been the fleeing Mr. Rebel.
Objection! Objection! Right, you backstabbing no good. I didn't kill no one.
It's the enemy! Ready your missiles in! Fire!
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Capitalist pig, I'll turn you into pork stroganoff! And that's just a taste of my ultimate anti-swine weapon!
Whoa! It fires missiles too? Yes, well, the witness is all yours, Mr. Justice.
He's totally given up.
Oops.
That's
okay.
all right.
Cross-examination time. What happened that evening?
Pop met with someone the night he died. I didn't have eyes on the ground, as I'd already mounted my siege defense, but I did hear him argue with someone in his study.
Hold it! Hold it! What was the argument about?
I heard things like, where's the orb? And are you defying dragons really criminals? It sounded real volatile, like the war might break out at any second.
So the two of them had an argument when Dax came to get the orb. Did you see or hear anything else?
Yeah, I heard them argue. Then, silence. From my window, I saw the one that's designated Dax getting ejected from the premises.
Well, where's the window? Hold on a second. Okay, where's his window? I don't know. I'm just gonna, what the hell does story mode tell us?
I did hear him arguing with someone in the study. I didn't have eyes on the ground, as I'd already mounted my siege defense.
Oh.
But nothing, Sarge. I say... Objection!
He had a camera.
Sarge, are you hiding something from me?
How dare you question your superior officer like that? You want to get on this stroking off action with Pink Boy over there, soldier?
Sorry, but I'm afraid lawyers are missile-proof.
What?
Would the defense care to explain? Why is Phoenix on the prosecutor's side? Well, he's...
Okay, so this is a civil case, and the people are... this is what we're fighting over. So the plaintiff is a man by the name of Paul Attrition. Just go with it. And the defendant is a man by the name of Dhurke Sadmati. Dhurke, the rebel leader. Now, the defense is claiming this item is the Crystal of Ami Fey. And no, the defendant is claiming that this is the Founder's Orb that was stolen from the kingdom of Khura'in. And Paul Attrition, the plaintiff, is claiming that this is the Crystal of Ami Fey. So the whole crux of his trial is we're trying to figure out what this thing is and who it belongs to. And now we found out that the doctor that was studying this orb was murdered.
Oh boy.
He didn't die in an accident. So if he was murdered and we can prove it, it does that this weapon, that this orb will no longer belong to Dhurke Sadmati. It'll go back to Paul Attrition. And Dhurke is trying to get this orb to go back to Khura'in to lead a revolution. So, yeah, and Phoenix Wright is Paul Attrition's lawyer. So,
That's what's happening.
that's what's happening.
It's simple, Your Honor. Just as he is able to see what's happening in court right now, Sarge was able to see what was happening in the study then. With his cherished drone, of course. Oh, but now that you mention it, and to think the answer was right before our eyes this whole time. Sarge, you were perfectly capable of patrolling the study that night, so you must have seen something.
I'm hit! What is this disgraceful weaponry using against me?
Courtroom warriors don't use guns or missiles because evidence is our weapon of choice, and the evidence has exposed your bald-faced lie. My truth bomb, Sarge, has stripped your defenses bare.
Truth bomb? No! Ah! seen such fearsome ordinance.
Tell it to us straight, Sarge. After all, you want to help your father, don't you?
Huh?
Yes. You want to find out who killed him, don't you? So please, tell us what you saw that night.
It's not what you think. I didn't see anything. I swear.
You sure? You seem awfully stressed for someone who didn't see anything.
Hit the deck!
Get to cover! Sarge? You need to answer my question.
Shut your pothole, maggot! There'll be a scorching day in Siberia before a moving crowd like you orders me around.
What's with him in Siberia of all places? But if a scorching day is what it'll take, then maybe it's time to turn up the heat. The fire, remember that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
Hey, Athena. You think a therapy session might help?
Well, it could help alleviate some of his anxiety.
Uh-oh.
Plus, I'm picking up a lot of discord in Sarge's voice. That usually means the patient wants to say something but can't for some reason.
And in Sarge's case, I imagine whatever's plaguing him is pretty severe. In that case, I leave it to you and your mood matrix magic.
You got it! Your Honor, I believe I could be of help here.
Time for a therapy session, is it, Miss Sykes?
Yes, it will help the witness with his anxiety. Maybe even enough to testify.
Then by all means, please bring the poor child out into the light of day. Oh, but I assume this will be all right with you, Mr. Wright.
Why not? It's not like we all haven't been through this before.
What are you putting in for, lady? There ain't a place on the battlefield for you.
Objection! Objection! I beg to differ, Sarge. This G.I. Jane's always ready for a fight in the courtroom. And wait until you see what I've got in my arsenal. Analytical psychology. With it, I'm going to blow a big old hole in the armor you built around your heart.
Wow. First evidence, now analytical psychology? Where are these WFDs coming from? Well, if it's failed you want, bring it on. You may have started this war, but I'm going to end it. Corpse Woman Sykes.
What?
You got it, Sarge. Time to seek out the agony buried deep in your heart.
Place yourselves.
All right. Mood matrix, activate.
Yep, here we go. All right, so what's he doing here?
All right. Time to bring that kid out of life.
Can we please see the kid actually?
I think we I have a feeling that we will actually see the child, but it's not what you think it is.
I stayed
Stayed in my room with my drone that evening. Just a little scared. I heard Dax and Papa arguing with each other. A little bit surprised. A little bit of sadness and fear. Double surprise. Dax got kicked out, but I saw him still hanging around outside. Well, why is he doubly surprised about seeing Dax? You may want to check in on that.
Okay, yeah, I mean, why is he doubly feared, too?
Got it! Yep, I hit on something. That's strange. You reacted with shock when you discovered your father's body. Yet you weren't nearly as shocked then as when you saw Mr. Rebel. Normally, you'd expect the death of one's father to be much more impactful.
Unless that's a rebel is responsible for the fire that killed his mother.
What?
Oh.
Wait a minute.
No.
No way. It can't be. No.
Gotta prove it.
Gotta prove it.
Gotta prove it.
Enemy fire! Direct here!
That is strange. I wonder what it could mean.
He has to be some sort of person of interest in his life. He saved him, maybe.
Well, I don't know.
Either he's responsible for the fire or he saved him.
I think.
Oh boy.
Well, we know he wasn't as affected by his father's death as he should have been. And I think I know why.
Oh?
Sarge, you weren't as shocked as seeing your father's body as seeing Mr. Aribal because... you already
Something else shocked you.
I don't know. Let's see. You already seen his body. Sarge, maybe the truth is you left your room that night, and that's when you saw it. Your father's body.
I saw no such thing.
Really? You didn't see his body? All right then. What did you see?
70%.
Look, Apollo. We lost some noise.
So, just as I suspected, he really did see something. Sarge, please tell us what you saw.
But the moment I saw it, I couldn't bear it. I couldn't stand to lose yet another loved one.
Huh? Am I missing something here?
Yeah. Are we?
Is that why you weren't very shocked when you found out your father was dead? Because you had already sensed that he was a goner somehow?
Maybe.
Please, Sarge, what was it you saw on the night of your father's murder?
Oh, God. I saw.
What's happening? I don't like where this is going.
Yeah, no more, please.
I'm a confiscated little toy. The battlefield is no place for unauthorized equipment.
Bridget! Apollo! I can't continue the session without him.
Calm yourself this instant, witness. I hereby order you to submit to your therapy session. What in blazes?
Look at me. I'm judge, jury, and executioner now. I hereby convene a military tribunal.
Whoa. This has gone way too far. Bailiff, arrest that drone this instant.
Stop resisting! If you don't come quietly, I'll fire!
Get back! Get what you're back! Run!
Jesus Christ!
Oh, this is stupid.
Oh, it's a wow. What the hell is going on here? Are people hurt?
Finally got him back.
Nice work. This witness is truly a handful.
2, 3, 4. Whoa.
Ms. Sykes, what's the witness's current psychological state?
Let's see. He is emotionally all over the map.
So his out-of-control emotions are in control of him, huh? Does that mean we can calm him down if we can figure out the root cause?
Yes. So let's see what we can find. Sarge? Can you hear me?
Is that you, courtroom Sykes?
I'm here. Now I want you to take a few deep breaths. Just try to relax. Try it with me. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out.
Hands up and hands down.
Back up.
Tell me what you gonna do now. Okay, we got it on our system.
In, out, in, out.
And now, let your emotions take you where they will. Go on, just let it all out.
Whoa! All forces, attack!
That's the least relaxing breathing exercise I've ever seen. Matrix update. Warning.
So surprise, so sadness, fear, everything.
Dax was still hanging around after he got kicked out when I heard more fighting, and I got worried about Papa. So I left my room, but suddenly I got dizzy and passed out. I remember a flame lighting up the room, and Papa grinning with delight. Oh,
Why is he?
that must be. Gotta probe that. Grab the fire. Got it!
Yeah, but why is he grinning?
That's it! Sarge, you were overcome with shock and fear when you saw those flames, weren't you?
Was I?
Yes. Just 6 months ago, you and your mother were caught up in an arsonist's blaze. So it's no wonder you would be extremely scared of fire.
Hold on a second. Time out. Dr. Buff. What's his real name? Give me a second.
Archie Buff. Archie.
Dr. Archie Buff is an arsonist?
No, he can't be.
Oh my God. Hang on. Hang on.
Yes, that does make sense.
And maybe, just maybe, your subconscious fear of fire was what caused you to withdraw from the world.
What do you mean, Courtroom Sykes?
In the outside world, you were bound to come across all sorts of fire. Candles, cigarettes, heck, even the grill at a diner. Even if it's not that often, just the idea that you might see them grew bigger and bigger until you couldn't shut it out.
I think he might be onto something. Candles, cigarettes. Just thinking about them sends a chill down my spine. Wow, the things I take for granted. Now I see. I was afraid. Afraid of the fire. Strange, I didn't even realize it myself. About that fire, Sarge, can you tell me what it was burning?
Just stay calm and maybe something will come to you.
I'm starting to remember. It was that relic. That relic Papa was studying. It was on fire. Huh?
So Astro Dude 87 says corpse without an E is pronounced core.
Oops,
Yeah,
my bad.
core woman Sykes.
Astrada 87, thanks for correcting that for me.
That's
I'm so
okay.
forgetful these days. Welcome to the chat, by the way, whoever that may be. Astrada 87.
That relic Papa was
Astro
studying.
Dude 87, yep. The Papa early study was on fire.
Yeah, so Leo, what the heck was that? What was that fire doing?
The orb was on fire? Still kind of fuzzy. But yes, the orb was burning right in front of Papa. And there, in the flames was Mama? Yes. Now I remember. I saw Mama out here amid the dancing flames. Wait, what?
Oh man! So he was happy that he saw his mom.
Oh,
Or his
man.
wife.
Next. What in the world? Noise level's down to 30.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Maybe it's a memory from the fire that killed his mother. It might be confusing with what really happened when his father died.
So let me guess. More therapy?
Yep, but this time, it seems there's an inconsistency in his statements, and I think we should be able to prove it with the evidence in hand.
I hope this inconsistency is the key to proving that the relic really is the Founder's Orb. Okay, Root
Right.
Matrix update.
Dad was still hanging around after we got kicked out when I heard more fighting, and I got worried about Papa. So I left my room, but suddenly I got dizzy and passed out. I remember flame lighting up the room, and Papa gritted with delight. The relic was on fire, and I saw Mama's face inside. That's when Papa must have been killed. If only I hadn't passed out.
What story mode telling us? So there's objection.
If he was holding the orb, why was he?
He may have been hit by the orb or something.
Yeah, no kidding.
Don't blame yourself, Sarge. After all, even if you hadn't passed out, the outcome would have been the same.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the time of death. Your father wasn't killed right after you left your room.
What? Explain yourself at once, Private Justice.
You said you saw your father burning the orb, right? But that night, he went out to hide it in a cave. So what you saw, Sarge, was something that happened before your father left to hide the orb. Before your father left to hide up the orb.
Right, exactly. Wait a minute. Who was in that coat?
Archie Buff wasn't Archie Buff in that coat, or was it somebody else?
Oh, it could have been Dats.
Oh boy.
Dats could have hid. Well, if Dats hid the orb, why couldn't he have just given it to Dhurke?
I don't know.
Idiot.
I don't know.
Anyway.
So you see, you didn't pass out right before he was killed. You passed out right before he left for the cave to hide the orb in the ruins within.
So even if I had passed out,
That's right. The outcome would have been exactly the same. That's because your father, Dr. Buff, was killed after he returned from the ruins. And therefore, Sarge, there's no need for you to blame yourself.
oh, I see. Private Justice, can you really say I bear no blame in this?
Why do you ask?
Uh-oh.
Yikes.
Because the truth is, if I hadn't engaged in my siege defense, Papa would still be alive.
Sarge,
Papa was nothing more than for me to lead a happy, healthy life. That's why he quit his job and moved south, away from the big city. But even then, I didn't have the courage to set foot into the outside world. And in the end, I failed to make Papa's wish come true.
man, that
Oh,
was
jeez.
ouch, bro. What was Papa's wish?
Sarge? If you want to make your father's wish come true, if that's what you really want, then who's to say it's too late? Why don't you take the first step now?
My first step?
That's right. You can cast off all your regret. You can stop standing still and start moving forward. You have the power within you. I know from experience. I know what it's like to feel like you do. But only you can decide to take that first step.
If you don't change your tactics now, Sarge, the victory you seek in the war you're waging will always lie beyond your grasp. think I understand now. I've made up my mind. Huh? As of this moment, I will suspend my season events indefinitely.
Yay!
Yay! Wait, hey, that's gotta be that kid. That kid was controlling it. But, is it?
What's going on here?
This kid's in a wheelchair. It's a girl! It's a girl!
Whoa.
Huh?
Sergeant Buff, reporting for duty.
What? I thought you were a guy!
You're definitely not the gruff drill sergeant I envisioned! Well, my mama was in the Russian army.
I was just as shocked, but it certainly explained a few things when I found out, too. May I introduce you to Ms. Army Buff, age 12.
No way!
Careful, soldier. Don't forget I could blow you away in a moment's notice. She's just too cute.
So, have you always been in a wheelchair, Sarge?
Negative. Only since I was injured. In the fire.
Your voice sounds awfully different from before. No shit, Sherlock! Oh, here. There. See? She's been controlling that drone this whole time.
Of course.
My drone features a voice modulation device. It's just one of my Army's many technological marvels.
Well, you fooled me. I thought some 20-something military fanatic was at the controls.
If it's all the same to you troops, I'd like to continue my testimony. I just remembered something, and it's as crisp and clear as a trumpet at roll call.
What did you remember?
It wasn't my mother who appeared in the burning orb. It was some lady Papa had shown me a picture of a long time ago. He said it was the Holy Mother, the founder of Khura'ism.
What?
She appeared right there, right in the burning orb.
Huh?
What did you just say?
The Holy Mother? No way!
Well, that has to mean it's the orb then.
It has to be
no
the
question.
That has to be the Founder's Orb. But there
What?
goes the Discord.
Yeah, but
Bye-bye.
Here's the deal, though. Who killed Archie Buff?
I don't know.
The Holy Mother of Khura'ism was in the burning orb? What does that even mean?
I have a bad feeling about this.
Could it be? Could this explain what Sarge means by the Holy Mother appearing in the burning orb?
The research notes. Yes.
Take that!
Dr. Buff's research notes? What do they have to do with this?
Look at this! The burning orb, the appearance of the Founder. This part points to both.
Offer thy prayers as fervent as fire, only then shall the Holy Mother return.
Take that! There's a legend about the orb involving a mysterious riddle, and this song in turn is said to contain the key to solving it. If the legend is true, then I believe the answer lies in this part of the song. Offer thy prayers as fervent as fire, only then shall the Holy Mother return. Well, anyone see where I'm going with this?
Prayers as fervent as fire. Ah! You're supposed to set the orb on fire?
The whole stanza seems to suggest that the Founder will appear if the orb is set on fire.
Wait, so the doctor, he...
Yes, Athena. He had solved the ancient riddle of the Founder's orb. Oh, my!
Whoa! Holy smokes!
Papa was a great archaeologist, so I believe in him. And I want to believe he achieved his long-time dream of solving that riddle before he died.
Well, we won't know for sure until we try it for ourselves.
Yes, do it, Private Justice. Please. I want to see what Papa was searching for with my own eyes.
Objection! Objection! The plaintiff must object to this.
Objection!
Objection! The plaintiff will stand down and be quiet.
Objection!
Objection! You don't have the right to set a precious relic like that on fire.
Objection! Oh, but I do. All I needed was Sarge's permission. Since we still don't know if this treasure is the Founder's Orb or the Crystal of Ami Fey, any ownership rights to the Doctor had now belonged to his daughter.
Any ownership rights the Doctor had.
Any ownership rights the Doctor had now belong to his daughter. Therefore, you have absolutely no right to stop us. Very well, Mr. Justice. I never thought I'd be saying this, but you may burn the evidence. All right, here we go.
Offer your prayers as fervent as fire. So, all right.
Oh, look at this.
Lighter.
I've never seen this.
Offer your prayers.
Wait a minute. Uh-oh.
Something's happening.
Look!
Apollo, the inside of the orb. It's melting.
There's something in there. Oh, my.
That's her face!
Wah! Ah! Dhurke! Isn't she?
Her garb leaves no room for doubt. It's the Founder herself. Face and all. That's fucking bonkers. I don't understand. The greatest of taboos in Khura'inism is the depiction of the Founder's face. Yet here it is, hidden within this orb.
Founder's Orb updated in the court record. Heating the Founder's Orb revealed the statue within. Sorry, Mr. Wright, but as you can see, the issue is crystal clear. This figure is the Holy Mother, founder of Khura'inism. And based on that, this must be none other than the Founder's Orb.
Objection!
Objection! Be that as it may, Mr. Rebel still may have killed the Doctor. If so, it would render the orb transfer agreement null and void.
Don't play dumb, Mr. Wright. The truth of the matter has already been proven. Dr. Buff wasn't killed right after Sarge saw Mr. Rebel. It happened after the Doctor came back from hiding the orb. And you've no proof that Mr. Rebel was still around at the time. Your claim that the Defiant Dragons were behind the crime doesn't hold water. And that means the orb transfer agreement is still perfectly valid. Admit it, Mr. Wright. I just burned your whole case to the ground.
Oh. No!
Gotta go in there. I won? I actually won? Order. Mr. Wright, would you care to respond?
Respond?
I think so.
Wait, did we just win? Did we actually beat the Turnabout Terror? You're amazing, Apollo!
Why do I get the feeling that we're not done yet?
I don't think so.
Don't just stand there, White. Do something.
Well, I don't think there's any digging out of this hole.
Mr. Attrition Whipperson, I think it's time for your concession speech. I have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is the Founder's Orb. The facts don't lie, but you obviously do. How's that for a campaign slogan?
Why, you contemptuous peasant!
I think this is a good time to wrap up this trial. If both parties have no further objections, I will render my verdict. No objections here, Your Honor.
No,
Hold it!
I guess he does.
You can't do this! The crystal is mine! I'll lose the election if I lose that crystal!
I'm sorry, but there's really nothing more I can do.
You haven't forgot about our little chat, have you? What's going on here?
Objection! Your Honor, I object to the defense's last claim.
What?
I don't believe they have truly proven that the relic is indeed the Founder's Orb.
Objection!
It's 10:21 p.m., by the way.
I know.
Mr. Wright, I don't think even you could bluff your way out of this one. What possible argument could you have to claim that this isn't the Founder's Orb?
What if the Founder is Ami Fey?
Uh-oh, I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just thinking. About that. Oh, of course.
He can't possibly have hit on something.
The defense's assertion is incomplete, and this is why. Their claim that this relic is the Founder's Orb is based on a legend, and that legend claims that the Founder will return when the riddle is solved at last.
Right, and that's what happened. The Founder was revealed for all to see.
But Mr. Justice, what about the rest of the legend?
Huh?
According to the legend, once the Founder returned, she would bestow spiritual power onto the person who solved the riddle. Oh.
You're kidding, right?
Well, Mr. Justice, do you feel great spiritual power coursing through your veins?
No. But receiving spiritual powers and stuff, it's all just mystic mumble jumble, right?
Right. Maybe so, but you're the one basing your claim on said legend. And what we saw here does not fully fulfill it, does it?
No, but
Consequently, you cannot rightfully claim that this is the Founder's Orb. Boy.
he's gonna lose it.
He's sleeping.
Silence.
What's gotten into them? Why is Mr. Wright doing this?
It would appear that Mr. Wright has lost a few of his marbles.
That couldn't be further from the truth, Your Honor.
In any case, I believe this is a good time for a recess. Both sides will have 20 minutes to prepare. I ask that all arguments be ready by then. Oh, and Mr. Wright, you do well to wash up and find your missing marbles by then, too.
Okay. Wow.
So what do you want to do?
You know what? I gotta hit the sheets, but we gotta finish this case. So, package, you will take this from here. So, good night and good luck.
I will finish it from here. Chair gets right place for me. Right, so here's the deal. Going forward, I am the one-man dub. May 17th, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3.
Mr. Wright is sure acting funny. I mean, he's famous for going out on a limb, but that last assertion was just plain crazy.
It's either a bluff or a Hail Mary. Either way, it doesn't make much sense.
Maybe there's something we're missing here. Although, he seemed perfectly normal when we spoke earlier. Apollo, I have a bad feeling about this. I'm going to go check up on him.
What's going on with you, Mr. Wright?
Hey, Private Justice.
Oh, Sarge.
I forgot to mention something. On the night of Papa's murder, a strange thing happened.
Oh, but why are you only telling me about it now?
Well, I didn't say anything before because I thought Papa's death was an accident. But now that we know otherwise, I figured it might be important.
There's still more to this case?
When I left my room and lost consciousness, I passed out right here.
That's right above the coffee bar.
But when I came to, someone was pushing my wheelchair.
What?
I was so scared I beat a hasty retreat as fast as my wheels could take me.
Do you know who it was?
No, it was pitch black. Plus, I fled to my room so fast I didn't even have a chance to turn on the lights.
Maybe it was your father? I don't know what's going on here yet, but y'all, buckle up.
No, he would have said something to me. Besides, I'd have known if it was him.
So then it could have been your father's real killer?
My thoughts exactly.
But you didn't report this to the police?
It didn't even occur to me.
It's okay. You're obviously still upset, so don't beat yourself up over it. Apollo, this could be really important information. I think the act of pushing Sarge's wheelchair could be part of some bigger scheme. It's hard to see why else the killer would have done such a thing. Guess I should take her statement down as evidence. Army statement added to the court record. She fled to her room when she realized someone had moved her while she'd been unconscious on the second floor. Oh, welcome back, Athena. Huh? What's with the long face? How'd it go with Mr. Wright?
What should I...
Athena?
Oops, sorry. Zone out there for a sec. The recess is almost over, so let's go.
What was that all about? What indeed? Tune in and find out, folks. May 17th, District Court, courtroom number 6. All right, court is once again back in session. Now, Mr. Wright, about that last objection you raised. We, the plaintiffs, still believe that the defense has yet to sufficiently prove its case. They claim that, according to legend, the Founder's Orb would bestow spiritual power, yet the relic in question has failed to do so. Therefore, it has failed its own test. I see. He's sticking with that ridiculous argument? Furthermore, even if it is the Founder's Orb, it can't be awarded to the Defiant Dragons. After all, they were the ones who killed Dr. Buff.
Objection! Objection!
What are you talking about? That was already proven to be false. There are no grounds for asserting that the Defiant Dragons murdered the Doctor. Oh, but I'm afraid there are, Mr. Justice. Your Honor, I would like to present new testimony to this court. Testimony that will show that Datsa Rebel did in fact kill Dr. Buff. What? Very well, you may call your witness.
I guess Mr. Wright found another new angle.
What new testimony could there be this late in the game? What indeed? Oh, I sure hope that's the real culprit, but we gotta prove it.
Fellow citizens, it is I, politician, the once and future representative of the people.
Jeez, not him again. My client divulged new information to me during the recess. He remembered something he saw, you see? Something crucial to this case. How very convenient. All right, witness testimony time. Datsa's crime.
It was around 11 at night, and I was out in a mobile meet and greet around the village. That's when I saw Dr. Buff being murdered from outside his study window. Mr. Rabel stunk up from behind and struck him on the head. His weapon of choice? A suitcase. A big, strong man like him could easily swing a heavy suitcase into someone's head.
I don't know about that.
You saw the murder as it happened? And you're just telling us now because...
I say the best for last. It's a tactic known to all the political greats.
The murder weapon was a complete mystery, but my client's eyewitness account has finally brought it into the light. According to the autopsy report, Dr. Buff was struck in the head by the corner of some object. I suppose that could very well be the corner of a suitcase.
Objection! But eyewitness testimony isn't the same as hard evidence.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you.
What's that supposed to mean?
We have physical evidence, too. A luminol test revealed the doctor's blood on Mr. O'Ribble's suitcase.
Really? But how does that prove Mr. O'Rebel used it as a weapon?
Objection! You should know the answer. You should know the answer to that, Mr. Justice. Since you know as well as I that the suitcase is covered in his fingerprints.
Ah! I forgot we dusted it right in front of Emma.
Oh boy. What? There's luminol test in there.
The turnabout terror strikes again.
This is quite convincing testimony and evidence. Nevertheless, you may proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Justice.
Let's tear it apart then. Let's get this bastard. Cross-examination time. That's his crime.
It was around 11 at night, and I was out in a mobile meet and greet around the village. That's when I saw Dr. Buff being murdered from outside his study window. Mr. O'Ribbel snuck up from behind and struck him on the head.
Hold it! He snuck up from behind? So you're saying the doctor never even realized Mr. O'Ribbel was there?
That's right. He was utterly absorbed in a book.
I see. What did you see Mr. O'Ribbel do next? What did you see Mr. O'Ribbel do next?
He climbed up the bookshelf ladder and dumped a bunch of books down on the body. I believe he was trying to make it look like an accident, but that idiot didn't realize I couldn't see everything from outside the window.
One of those statements doesn't feel right. Your Honor, I believe the witness made an important statement just now about how the doctor was reading a book. The doctor was reading a book at the time of the murder? That's vital testimony!
Very well. The witness will please add that statement to his testimony.
The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book.
Well, let's see. How do you explain this?
Objection! The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book, you say? I'm sorry, but it seems your testimony is completely unreliable.
That's quite a bold statement. Well, let's hear you back it up. I challenge you to prove that I am anything but 100% reliable.
It would be my pleasure. Lately, it seems the doctor's eyes had gotten so bad he needed reading glasses. However, his reading glasses were over on his desk. So you see, there's no way he could have been reading in front of the bookshelves.
What if he was reading somewhere else?
I'm sorry, Mr. Attrition Whipperson, but I'm gonna have to ask you to explain this discrepancy to the voting public. You what? You what?
I'll explain it, you worry cur. I simply made a mistake, you see. The doctor was actually sitting at his desk when Mr. O'Ribbel hit him over the head.
But then the doctor would have been facing him. Surely you would have seen him and tried to run.
Dr. Buff was nodding off. I could tell because his eyes were closed and he wasn't moving.
Sounds more like what you would do. Then how do you explain the fact that he was stuck in the back of the head, struck in the back of the head? Isn't that something that should be impossible from the front of the desk?
About that, he bowed his head when he nodded off. That's when he was clobbered.
So that's what you saw. Well, Mr. Justice, that sounds like a perfectly reasonable explanation to me. Do you have a problem with the proposal that the doctor was struck while nodding off? I got a big problem. There is a problem. A very big problem. The witness's statement doesn't hold up under the slightest bit of scrutiny. Is that so? Then will you please show this court what evidence you have to justify this? Gladly, Your Honor. This shows a problem with the witness's claim that he saw the doctor nodding off. I think it's the window, isn't it? No, it's the diagram. Take that! A diagram of the study? Mr. Attrition Whipperson allegedly viewed the murder from here. Under the tree. And the doctor was allegedly nodding off. Here. In the study. But from his vantage point, the bookcase would have blocked the witness's line of sight. Oh. Why, yes, I believe you're right.
Objection!
Objection. The fact remains, my client knew that the suitcase was the murder weapon. So he definitely has first-hand knowledge of the crime scene. I'm afraid I have to agree with you there, Mr. Wright. But then, we have to ask ourselves, from what vantage point did he see the murder? What are you insinuating, Mr. Justice? From what vantage point could Mr. Attrition Whipperson have seen the dozing doctor? Once we determine that, I believe we'll finally see the truth behind this incident. The witness saw the murder from right here. From behind, maybe?
Take that!
You gotta be kidding! Well, It is indeed, but everything only makes sense if the witness was there in the study.
Inside the study? Well, that's the scene of the crime.
I know. Mr. Attrition Whipperson, the man who claims to be a witness to the murder, was most certainly in that very room.
Apollo, are you suggesting...
Mr. Attrition Whipperson, weren't you the one who actually swung that suitcase?
Objection!
Objection. What you're proposing is ludicrous. My client is a small, thin man, whereas Mr. Redball has the musculature to pull it off. He has a point. I gave up trying to lift that thing after one go.
That's right. He's the only one who could have lifted such a heavy object. Now do you understand? The rebel Dr. Redball is the doctor's killer.
As long as the suitcase is a murder weapon, the suspicion falls entirely on Dax. You'll have to poke a hole in Mr. Wright's argument somehow, Apollo.
Oh, I will. And with his own technique, no less. If Mr. Attrition Whipperson couldn't swing the suitcase around, we'll just have to consider another way he could have used it as a murder weapon instead. I'm going to turn this case on its head, Mr. Wright, just like you taught me. You talk big, Mr. Justice, but do you have what it takes? Well, this should be interesting. Mr. Attrition Whipperson's testimony has been filled with one inaccuracy after another. First, he stated that Dr. Buff was in front of the bookshelves. Now he claims that the doctor was sitting at his desk. So where was the victim really when he was killed? Also, where was his killer and how was the murder weapon really used? So the important thing here is the position of the victim and killer relative to each other? Yes, Your Honor. If they were positioned in a certain way, it would be possible to use the suitcase as a weapon without lifting a finger. You can't mean. I would ask the court to recall the study's layout. It's quite distinctive, as you can see. Now, if Dr. Buck was sitting in a certain spot and his killer was at a certain other spot, the suitcase would become a weapon anyone could use. Very well, Mr. Justice. Where was Dr. Buff's killer at the time of the crime? Was he here? Was he... He was up there.
Take that!
There? Oh, that's... This should wrap things up nice and pretty for you, Mr. Wright. I would ask the court to recall the study's layout, but this time, instead of thinking in 2 dimensions, let's think in 3. Only then can we clearly see the killer's method at work. Uh-oh. You mean Dr. Buff was sitting there? The killer didn't have to swing the suitcase. Oh. If he used gravity to his advantage, that is. So you're telling me that the true killer pushed the suitcase off the balcony and it hit Dr. Buff's head there? No way. Impossible. That's right. It was the plaintiff, one politician Wimperson, who used the suitcase. He pushed it from the 2nd floor and sent it hurtling down onto Dr. Buff, who was sitting at the coffee bar. Oh, there's coffee on the book stain. There's coffee stain on the book. Yeah! The psychology book had been at the coffee bar, no doubt. The doctor must have set it down there after he finished reading it, or the like. But his blood got on it, which is why the killer thought to hide it in that mountain of books.
Objection!
Objection. That's quite an entertaining theory you have there, Mr. Justice. But there's no evidence that the murder took place at the coffee bar. I'm not so sure about that, Mr. Wright. I'd say that evidence of the murder occurring at the coffee bar exists. The evidence does exist, and I'm going to show you. You are? This right here is proof that the murder took place at the coffee bar. Right there.
Take that!
This brown stain was determined to be coffee. What's more, it was still a bit damp when we saw it yesterday morning. One look at this book speaks volumes, I'm afraid, Mr. Wright. It tells us the doctor was having a cup of coffee at the coffee bar. That's when the suitcase came hurtling down, striking him on the head. Causing both his blood and his coffee to spatter onto it. Well, Mr. Attrition Whipperson?
What would have Graham possibly had to kill Dr. Buff?
And there it is. That final excuse corner killers are so fond of. Well, the doctor never returned your crystal to you, did he? Instead, he hid it in the cave ruins. Telling him that the Defiant Dragons were a dangerous bunch was a huge blunder. All it did was make him hide the orb. Your lie came back to bite you in the end. Even worse, the doctor saw the news reports, so he knew the relic was the Founder's orb. Being the conscientious researcher he was, he knew he had to return it to its rightful place. And that meant keeping it out of your hands. Yeah! You were so angry that he refused to return the relic to you that you killed him with your own hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Attrition Whipperson?
That is...
Hold it!
Hold it. Apollo, don't. Please don't accuse my client of murder. Huh? What do you mean, don't accuse him? Why would you even say that, Mr. Wright? What I meant was, he's a promising politician with a bright future ahead of him. It's in our nation's best interest to avoid burdening him with the taint of scandal. Say what?
Right. You'd better do something to change the current courtroom climate, or I'll be charged with murder. And you know what will happen to her if that happens.
he talking about? Well, I can ponder that later. For now... Mr. Wright, you can't possibly believe that Mr. Rebel is the killer. Are you really going to send an innocent man to prison? I thought you were better than that! Well, Mr. Wright, answer me! But Mr. Wright? What in the world's going on here? If you won't say anything, then... Mr. Attrition Whipperson, the defense hereby...
Hold it! Apollo, wait!
Not you too, Athena!
It's just, I wasn't sure whether I should say anything, but during that last recess, when I went to check on Mr. Wright, I overheard something I shouldn't have.
Uh-oh. I trust Maya is unharmed?
I can't really say, but just remember, if I'm arrested or fail to obtain the treasure, there will be consequences. Consequences of the worst kind, if you catch my drift.
What in the hell does he mean by that?
Rex, all you have to do is ensure I get my hands on that relic. I must deliver it to my benefactor at all costs.
What do they want that relic for anyway?
It's something to do with the old legend. My patron seeks a great power said to be granted to whoever solves its secret.
Maya? As in Maya Fey?
Yes, the boss's legendary former assistant.
Miss Fey's being held hostage? What? What? You mean to tell me that Maya Fey is held hostage? What?
So it seems.
Why didn't you tell me as soon as you heard this?
Sorry, it's just Mr. Wright spotted me before I could slip away and made me promise not to tell you. He said it would make things more difficult if you found out.
As if things weren't already hard enough. So that's why Mr. White was acting so strange. I had no idea. This must have been excruciating for him. Think, Justice, think. There's got to be something you can do. Mr. Justice, about that last statement of yours, I believe you were in the middle of accusing the plaintiff of murdering Dr. Buff. Would you care to continue? I'm sorry, Apollo. I'm really sorry. What's gotten into you two? If I accuse that slime bag, I'd put Miss Faye's life in jeopardy.
It seems you finally caught on. I'm far too important to be accused of murder. After all, our nation's future rests squarely on my shoulders.
Either I give up, or... I don't think he's gonna give up this time. Not even these eyes.
Once I present the crystal to my patron, my victory is assured. Then one day I'll become president, and then king. I'll have every politician at my command. Now retract your accusations.
I can't kowtow to him, but... The defense would... It would like to retract the previous... Objection! Huh? What the... Apollo? Dhurke? I don't know what's going on here, but a lawyer should never look the way you do right now, with defeat and resignation written all over your face. Huh?
A dragon never yields.
There we go. Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go till its dying breath.
It glares, it roars, and it latches its jaws firmly onto its prey till the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get to the truth. Dhurke,
A dragon never yields. He's right. It's all over if I give up now. If Mr. Wright's hands are tied, it's up to me to do what must be done. He saved my neck so many times. Now, it's my turn to save his.
Damn right, son. Dhurke, thanks for that wake-up call.
now that's the face of a lawyer you've got there, son.
Where there's a will, there's a way. And I'm going to find the way to save Miss Fey and see that justice is served.
Time to revisualize, Apollo. Think it back.
That scumbag is holding Miss Fey hostage to ensure he gets the orb for his patron. And it seems said patron believes in the orb's legend. Thing is, the founder did appear when the orb was exposed to fire, just as the legend said. If the legend is true, then we already solved the riddle, right?
No, not yet. We have not solved the riddle yet. Wait a minute.
The legend says the founder will bestow great spiritual power when she returns. But if that's true, it means we haven't solved the whole riddle yet. But how can that be? Are we missing something? Wait, maybe. Maybe the part about the founder returning should be taken literally. But how would it be possible for a dead person to return to the world of the living?
Channeling, huh? Remember? The founder can return through channeling. Maya Fey did.
Oh, I know! There is a way for the dead to return. Spirit channeling! Of course, you'd have to know what the founder looks like first. But the orb has revealed her face to us. So what if it's a sign that we should channel her? Given the facts, in order to solve the riddle and receive the founder's power, I need a spirit medium.
There's your conclusion, folks. A medium is needed to obtain the power.
The ability of a medium to channel spirits is the final key to unlocking the orb's secret. That means Mr. Attrition Wibberson's patron will need one too. And once that slimy politician realizes that, he won't be able to lay a finger on Miss Fey.
All right, Apollo, finish it. Everything's going to be okay, Mr. Wright, because Mr. Politician Wibberson can't afford to harm a hair on Miss Fey's head. Huh? Mr. Attrition Wibberson, it seems you've chosen the wrong person to take hostage. What do you mean? Your patron seeks to solve the orb's riddle and thereby receive great spiritual power. However, only Maya Fey can truly give them what they really want. She can? What do you mean? What do you mean only Maya Fey? Think about what the return of the founder really means. We should have considered it more literally. After all, the orb was made in the kingdom of Khura'in, the birthplace of spirit mediums. I think I see now. You need to know what the deceased looks like in order to channel them. But in Khura'ism, depicting the face of the founder is taboo. However, her true face was hidden in the orb. So maybe the orb is telling us to try channeling the founder. Exactly! Through a spirit medium, the founder can quite literally return. And if the legend is true, the founder just might bestow spiritual power on someone when she does. It's like when pearls imbued my Magatama with spiritual power. If a human could be imbued with such power in a similar manner, it is said the founder possesses immense spiritual power. Such a great feat would not necessarily be beyond her. Wait a second! Then the legend is true? Do you understand now, Mr. Attrition Wibberson? You are holding hostage the final key to unlocking the orb's secret. And if anything were to happen to her, the riddle will remain unsolved forever. Ah! What?
What am I hearing it? What is going on here? Hold it! There's always Pro Fey. I could simply ask her to help. If she wants money, I have plenty to offer.
She's not the kind of person to be tempted by material gain, and she certainly wouldn't help you if anything were to happen to her cousin. Ugh. Or maybe you'd like to go ask the Queen of Khura'in to channel the founder for you.
You could, but you'd probably get executed for requesting such a thing.
It's over. Now confess. You killed Dr. Buff, didn't you?
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to end this way.
Mr. Attrition Whipperson, are you admitting to committing the crime?
You might want to, right? Do something.
It's true that I'm your lawyer, and as such, it's my job to defend you. However, defending my client isn't the only duty a lawyer has. There's something else that's equally as important, and that is finding the truth.
What?
Mr. Attrition Whipperson, you have sought to twist the truth in the dirtiest of ways. I was complicit in your hostage taking, but in a way, I was being held hostage too. Even so, there's still hope for me to make things right, and I owe it all to you, Apollo.
Mr. Wright.
I can't allow a murderer to walk away scot-free. Therefore, Mr. Attrition Whipperson, I must resign as your attorney.
No! Does this mean I'm under arrest? No!
Well?
I've nothing to confess.
What?
I said I've nothing to confess. I don't and I won't, especially not to a plebeian like you.
This guy doesn't know when to give up.
Besides, there's no truth to his allegations. I mean, look at the suitcase. You won't find a single print of mine on it.
All that means is you wiped them off, taking care to only lead Mr. Rebels.
As many a great politician has said before me, no comment.
In that case, try switching things up, Apollo. Look at the situation from a different angle. Is there really nothing that points to the suitcase being dropped from up above? Evidence that points to the suitcase being dropped from the second floor.
If the killer pushed the suitcase from the second floor hallway over the coffee bar, that would place him right around here.
Maybe. Just maybe. Thought of something, Apollo? I believe this piece of evidence to be connected to the dropping of the suitcase. Dr. Army Buff's statement.
Yes!
That appears to be a statement, but how is that related to this case? On the night of the murder, Your Honor, Miss Army Buff physically left her room. That's when she saw the doctor burning the orb and subsequently passed out, right above the coffee bar. But with her there in the wheelchair, the killer wouldn't have been able to drop the suitcase down onto the doctor. Good point. However, according to Sarge, she woke up just as someone was trying to move her in her wheelchair.
Someone was pushing my wheelchair.
What?
I was so scared I made a hasty retreat, as fast as my wheels could take me.
She must have been in the killer's way and had to be moved. Isn't that right, Mr. Attrition Whipperson? And if the killer had pushed the wheelchair with his bare hands, we may yet find the conclusive evidence we need.
Exactly. Fortunately for us, That evidence slipped right through the killer's fingers. If only he'd been able to hold on to it just a little tighter. But now... if only he'd been able to hold on to it just a little tighter. But now, he is neither able to discard nor alter it. Honestly, that piece of evidence wasn't even supposed to be here in this courtroom today. And yet, it looks like sometimes things do get better.
But this wasn't supposed to happen.
No? Well, too bad. Because the evidence that sped away from you that night has come back to haunt you right here at this very trial. Your Honor, the defense's final piece of evidence is on this person.
Take that!
Yes.
On the night of the murder, Sarge passed out, only to come to and find that someone was pushing her wheelchair. That's when she fled back into her room. She didn't physically see a single soul after that. Not until Athena drew her out through that therapy session, that is. While the killer was able to wipe the prints on the suitcase off, the same can't be said for the prints that got away.
My fellow Khura'ins.
Well, Mr. Politician Whipperson, try to explain your way out of this one. The podium is all yours. Gotcha now, bitch.
Politician, savior of Khura'in. I am not a crook. My political career, it can't end like this. I'm just here for great things. Something's wrong. This isn't real. It's a dream. No, a nightmare. Ooh. Huh? What? Wait, really? He won? Whoa, no way!
Banzai!
Banzai!
Breaking news, politicians arrested on murder charges stripped of his electoral right.
Wait, what? No, please! Wait! Don't go! No, please! Whoa!
Politician Whipperson, you're under arrest. Mr. Tisha Whipperson, are you all right? Bailiff, get him to the first aid station on the double. Get a medic over here. Well, this was yet another unexpected turn of events. In light of everything that's been revealed, it seems the relic is indeed the Founder's Orb. Yay! And it seems Mr. Politician Whipperson can be considered a suspect in Dr. Buff's murder. Apollo, I want to thank you for everything. Thanks to you, I didn't have to keep bending the truth. I don't know what I would have done without you. Don't mention it.
You were amazing today, Apollo.
Well, I couldn't have done it without Dhurke.
A dragon never yields.
Remember those words, people. Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go till its dying breath. It glares, it roars, and it latches its jaws firmly onto its prey till the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get to the truth. A dragon never yields. Every lawyer should take that to heart. As it seems both sides have no further objections, would Dhurke Sudmani please take the stand? This court awards the orb to the Defiant Dragons per the stated transfer agreement. Yay! Dhurke! Let's freaking go! Big win, Apollo. Big win. Should the Kingdom of Khura'in claim ownership, the matter may have to be deliberated in court all over again. I just hope, or shall I say pray, that I'm not the judge presiding over that one. Indeed, a trial like that might spark an international incident.
No shit, Sherlock.
Still, there are bigger and more momentous things astir in the air.
Revolution. Dhurke's really serious about this.
This court is adjourned. Whew. 4 words I thought I'd never hear. All right, here we are. May 17th. District Court. Defendant Lobby. Number 3. Nice work, son. We've finally broken through the last obstacle on the road to revolution. Revolution? It just doesn't seem real. Yes, well, to think you actually defeated the fighting Phoenix. All I can say is, that's my boy. Ha 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 ha.
Well, Mr. Wright did have his hands tied. Who knows if I'd have won if he'd been able to fight me head on.
I see it more like you saved Mr. Wright.
Saved him?
Yeah, remember what he said? He didn't have to bend the truth anymore, and it was all thanks to you.
I don't know about that.
Still, I guess it is kind of nice to be appreciated.
Mr. Dhurke, now that the Holy Mother's face has been revealed, are you gonna have the spirit medium try channeling her? I, for one, would love to see the return of the legendary founder.
Yeah, just think about it. Being able to speak to someone right out of the history books. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. What? Why? A face isn't enough. You also need the true name of the one you're attempting to channel. That's right. Oh, right. Pearl mentioned something like that. And the founder's true name is only known to the priestess who's been crowned queen. In short, the only living person who knows it is the current queen of Khura'in, Garan. Oh, so without her help, we won't be seeing the founder anytime soon?
That's no fun.
Founder's orb updated in the court record. Founder's form has appeared from within. Seems only the queen knows the founder's real name. So Dhurke, what will you do now? First, I'll start by tracing the route by which the orb came into Dr. Buff's hands. Since we now know it was politician that asked the doctor to study it. Right, we figured that out. Isn't he the one who stole it? No, a political nobody like him couldn't get anywhere near the orb, let alone steal it. He must have had inside help. My money is on someone connected to the royal family. Oh, right. You said something to that effect back in the cave. Whoever it may be, we need to expose her dirty scheme to the light of day. Well, I'm sure Mr. Wright has plenty of information, courtesy of his dirty client. He might be able to shed some light on this.
Private justice!
Private justice! That was fine work you did at the trial today. You did your sergeant proud.
Back at you, Sarge. Took real courage to leave your room like that.
It's all thanks to you and poor woman's sights. With my siege defense over, I can finally sally forth.
But the battle's only just begun. One for me and me alone to fight.
To lose your mother and then your father, what a terrible thing to endure.
Yeah.
And being wheelchair bound doesn't help.
Private Justice? I've been thinking, it's about time I stood on my own 2 feet. After all, I no longer have Papa to cuddle me.
Huh? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Take a good look, soldier. This is one small step for man, and one giant leap for me. Hold my drone for me, would you, Private Justice?
Yes, sir.
What is she up to?
Wait a minute, guys. Could it be... Wait.
Whoa.
Really? She's standing?
What's this, Sarge? You mean your legs there? Huh?
The doctor told me I was ready to walk again months ago. But if I admitted I could walk, I knew I had to leave the house. So I fainted.
Makes sense, but
I kept pretending I couldn't walk. But I know Papa is watching over me now, and I'd hate to disappoint him. So, from this day forth, I'm going to march forward on my own 2 feet.
what a brave kid trying to move forward like this. But it must be so hard this soon after her father's death. Don't you ever stop. You just keep on walking, comrade. Stay brave, because there will be days when you want to stop. But I have faith you'll find a way to muster the strength to push through them. Yeah, you can do it.
Hey, Daddy's back.
Mr. Wright, what's that look on his face for? Oh, Apollo. Is everything all right with Miss Fey? She's safe, for now.
Well then, we better go save her, quick. Where is she anyway?
I'm afraid I have some bad news. Huh? Maya's not here in the States. She's still in Khura'in. And she's still being held hostage by the mastermind behind this whole thing. What? You mean to tell me Maya Fey is still held hostage by some... What? The mastermind? That's right. Politician Wimperson was nothing more than a pawn. Maya's true abductor is in the kingdom of Khura'in. What? I don't understand, Mr. Wright. What in the world's going on over there? What indeed? But as shocking as that news was, it was only the beginning. The beginning of something big. Big enough to shake Khura'in to its very core. Revolution. I was being swept up in a mighty wave that nothing could stop. Of course, at the time, I had no idea what the days ahead had in store for us. Oh, man. To be continued. Okay, that's where we're gonna stop right here, but Maya Fey held hostage? No freaking way! Oh, man. Oh, boy. Wait till my brother watches this after the fact. Well, we're gonna skedaddle on out of here. All right, let me just go ahead and get out of there here, but yeah, folks, we have just gotten started to get into something real big here, folks. And I mean real big. So there's one thing I can tell you. Tune in next week, or the next time I stream, or whatever the case may be. My brother and I will play this by ear. Until then, I am the Package Andrew Steele, filling in for the Cannonball Alex Steele, as we are the Steele Twins, and we are for real. Top guys out. Adios, muchacho.